Hello chestnuts, how are you? Hope your week is going well. Now you guys know that I love Chardonnay and I've got a very, very special Chardonnay to show you today. It's the Matawhero Gisborne Irwin Chardonnay from 2021. Now you might notice there's a big sticker on the bottle. What does that mean? It says 50, and that's because this year in 2025, Matawhero celebrate their 50th anniversary. I know, so not many wineries in New Zealand can say they're 50. And there's such a huge history with Matawhero. And where do I start? Okay, so way back in 1975, Bill Irwin and his son Dennis released their first wines from a vineyard and cellar door and winery that they had on River Point Road in Gisborne. And you got to think about the New Zealand wine industry at the time. It's not, I mean, there was not many wineries even in the country, let alone in Gisborne. So there were Gisborne pioneers and then there were New Zealand pioneers. They made fantastic wines that ended up going in and getting international acclaim. They even got a letter from Buckingham Palace to say thank you for your wines. They're delicious, which is pretty amazing. Dennis Irwin was responsible for importing virus-free rootstock into New Zealand, which gave the New Zealand wine industry a great and very healthy platform to kind of kick off with, which is fantastic. So they've weathered a lot. So it's one of the oldest, or is the oldest cellar door in Gisborne. They have weathered all sorts of economic ups and downs, cyclones, droughts, all sorts. And then in 2008, right when the financial crisis was happening, when the whole global collapse was happening at a epic fail scale, a young couple called Richard and Kirsten Searle came along and they offered to buy Matawhero. And they had young kids and, everything was like super risky, but they did it anyway. They moved from their vineyard in Brunton Road to the River Point Road site and took over Matawhero and began growing it into this next phase, right? And Dennis used to come and visit all the time. In fact, I think I've got a photo of Kirsten and Richard. I'll just put that down. Yeah, so there's Kirsten, Richard, and Dennis in the cellar door having a good old time. And sadly, Dennis passed away a few years back, but he used to love going and visiting, which is really great. Oh, and that's a photo of Dennis and Bill, his dad, back in the 70s when they were making wine and were considered absolute pioneers in the wine growing industry of New Zealand. And they would never have thought back in the 70s that their little cellar door on River Point Road would become this hub of Gisborne wine activity. I mean, there's always concerts, there's great food, great wine, music, there's even luxury accommodation on the property now. It's just fantastic. A few years ago, Kirsten and Richard decided to really focus on Chardonnay, and they produced what they consider their flagship, which is called, naturally, the Irwin, right? And it's decorated with this motif, this beautiful little church image on the label, which is a illustration of the historic 165-year-old Matawhero church. Lots of stories with the church that I won't go into, but it's nearby the winery, and that's what they've put on the bottle. Now this is going to set you back about $60, I think maybe $70 odd for there's a gift pack that you can buy at matawhero.co.nz. But you're all going, Yvonne, what does it taste like? Oh my God. I wish you had like smell-o-vision and taste-o-vision, because this is so sensational. 2021, very, very good year for Matawhero. And it just erupts with like grilled nectarine and peachy notes, almond, like toasted almonds, and there's kind of like white smoke coming through it. Yum. It just fills the mouth with this juicy stone fruit and spicy oak, this kind of caramelized character. There's an underlying kind of creamy tone through it, but it's not like overly buttery or anything like that. It's just great. And I can still taste the wine. Like, it's got power and poise, and it's beautifully balanced and just worth every single cent and more. So if you're a Chardonnay fan, and I am, you should have this in your cellar. I have bottle number 3982, so they're all individually numbered. That might seem like a lot of bottles, but it's really just a couple of pallets. It's not huge. So make sure you get yourself a bottle of the Irwin 2021. Congratulations, Matawhero. You have done so well, and here's to the next 50 years. Cheers.